Welcome students to the next lecture in the series. Today we are about to begin the second part of your unit 3, that is standard costing and variance analysis. First of all, we will concentrate on standard costing. First, let's see that how it came into origin and how it has been become an important part. Let us begin with historical costing. See, standard costing we know is a specialized technique for cost control. And from cost control point of view, what a product should have costed is more important than why did it actually cost. So the actual cost is the past cost or the historical cost, or the historical costing is a system in which the actual costs incurred in the past are ascertained. Ascertainment of actual costs does not serve any useful purpose and has certain limitations, like historical costs are obtained too late and cannot be used for further price quotations and planning. Secondly, historical costs do not serve the purpose of cost control because the cost has already been incurred before cost figures are available for managerial control. Thirdly, historical costs do not provide any yardstick against the efficiency that can be measured. Lastly, historical costs also do not provide motivation to employees to strive for accomplishment of cost control. So, due to these limitations, the advent of a more satisfactory approach has been there, standard costing, which is based on predetermined costs. And standard costing is not a method of costing like job order on process costing. It is a special technique to control the costs and can be used in conjunction with any other system like job costing, process costing, or marginal costing. Now let us see. This was like how it came into era. Now let us see what exactly standard costing means. Standard costing is one of the most important tools to control the costs. Basically, it is a tool to control the costs, and in this technique, all the costs are predetermined. That costs are determined in advance of production. Such predetermined costs are then compared with the actual costs. Means we lay down a standard and then we compare the actual with the standard. If there is a difference between the actual and the predetermined cost, that is only known as variance or deviation. And then they are analyzed and investigated to know the reasons behind that. The variants are then reported to the management so that they can take some remedial steps and so that the actual costs adhere to the predetermined or standard costs. Further, certified definition, let us see. The word standard means a norm, a criteria. Standard cost is thus the criteria cost which may be used as a tool to measure the efficiency with which actual cost has been incurred. Or you can even say that standard costs are predetermined costs or target costs that should be incurred under efficient operating conditions. As per CIMA London, standard cost is the predetermined cost which is based on some technical estimate. Taking some viewpoints from the experts or taking some live experiments, these are set up, okay, for material, labor and overhead for a selected period of time for a prescribed set of working conditions. In the words of Brown and Howard, the standard cost is a predetermined cost which determines what each product or service should cost under given circumstances. So the standard costs are the planned costs that should be attained under a given set of operating conditions. The main object of standard cost is to look up forward and assess that what cost should be as distinct from what the cost has been in the past. Then we have meaning and definition of standard costing. Till now we were studying, see, standard cost. Now let us see standard costing. So it is the process actually. Standard costing is simply the name given to the technique whereby the standard costs can be calculated or computed. Subsequently, they are being compared with the actual costs to find out the differences between the two. And these differences are known as variances or deviations. They are then analyzed to know the cause behind them so that they provide a base for the control and the remedial actions can be taken for that. As per CIMA London, standard costing can be defined as the preparation of standard costs and then applying them to measure the variations from actual cost and analyzing the course of variations with a view to maintain maximum efficiency in production. One more definition has been quoted here by Brown and Howard, that it is a technique of cost accounting which compares the standard cost of each product or service with the actual cost to determine the efficiency of operations so that any remedial action may be taken immediately. Now let us see what steps are there in standard costing system. The setting of standard costs for different elements of cost like material, labor and overheads, ascertaining actual costs is another step. Then we compare the standard with the actual costs to determine the differences between them. Then the next is to know the reason behind them, and lastly to take the remedial steps. Now let us see the applicability of cost accounting. The application of standard costing requires certain conditions to be fulfilled, and we do have three conditions here. A sufficient volume of standard costs or components should have been produced. Methods, operations and processes should be capable of being standardized. Means they should be, there should be some standard methods, operations and processes which have been adopted by the organization. A sufficient number of costs should be capable of being controlled. Industries producing standardized products which are repetitive in nature, that is industries using process costing method, fulfill all these conditions that we have discussed above, and thus system can be used to the best advantage in such industries. And we have examples for that: fertilizer, cement, steel, sugar. Basically, in job industries, it is not worthwhile to develop and employ a full system of standard costing. Why? Because in such industries, the job undertaken may be different from another job. So, setting standard for each job may be different and would prove to be expensive. In such industries, therefore, a partial system may be adopted so that as per the appropriate circumstances, we can adopt or change the system. For example, like certain processes and operations performed may be of a repetitive nature. So there's some principles for those repetitive operations can be set and applied for the various operations. Now we are at a stage to understand the difference between standard costs and its estimated costs. First of all, aim. Standard cost aims at what the cost should be, whereas estimated costs is just an assessment of what the cost will be. Basis. Standard costs are planned costs which are determined on a scientific base after taking all the levels of efficiency in consideration, whereas estimated costs are just an average of the past figures, taking anticipated changes in future. Then relation to accounts. In standard costing system, standard costs are usually incorporated into the accounts from which variances of actual from standard are calculated, whereas in estimated costs that are used as statistical data for comparing the actual figures. So such costs are not entered in the books of accounts because they are just estimates. Usage, if we see, standard costs are meant to be used by the concern operating on standard costing system, and estimated costs may be used by any concern operating on any system, maybe on historical cost system. Control aspect. Standard costs serve as a very strong tool of controlling the costs, whereas estimated costs do not serve such purpose. Such costs, in fact, estimated costs serve other purposes like maybe quoting selling prices for new products or decision to buy or manufacture, etc. Then standard costs and budgetary control. If we compare, there are certain points which are similar, there are certain points which are different. Let us see. Standard costing and budgetary control have some common objectives, that is cost controlling by establishing certain budgets or targets. The actual performances are measured and compared with the predetermined targets for control purposes. Both the techniques are of importance in respective fields and are complementary to each other at times. Let us see the similarities. First, establishment of predetermined targets of performance. It is done in both. Then measurement of actual performance. Then comparison. Then finding out the variances and analyzing them, taking corrective measures. These 5 steps are similar in both standard costing as well as budgetary control. But it's not like that it is alike. There are differences between standard costing and budgetary control as well. First, scope. If we see the scope of these, standard costs are developed mainly for the manufacturing function and sometimes also for marketing and administration functions. Whereas in budgetary control, budgets are compiled for different functions of the business, such as sales, purchases, production, cash, capital structure, etc. Then let us distinguish these two on the basis of intensity. Standard costing is intensive in application as it calls for detailed analysis of variances. Budgetary control is extensive in nature and the intensity of analysis tends to be much less than that in standard costing. Next is relation in accounts. Standard costing, we have just studied in the previous slides even that the variances are usually revealed through accounts. Whereas in budgetary control, these variances are normally not revealed through accounts and control is exercised by statistically putting the budgets and actuals side by side. If we see the usefulness, both are useful, but in different contexts. Standard costing costs represents the realistic tool to measure and are therefore more useful for controlling and reducing costs, whereas budgets just represent an upper limit on spending without considering the effectiveness of the expenditure in terms of output. If we see the basis, standard costs are usually established after considering vital matters like production capacity, methods employed, and the other factors which require attention while we determine an acceptable level of efficiency. Whereas budgets may be based on previous year's costs estimates without any attention being paid to efficiency. If we see the projection, standard cost is a projection of cost accounts, whereas budget is a projection of financial accounts. Then we have certain advantages here. These are very easy. Let us see one by one. First is that it is an effective cost control tool. This is easy. I would not like to explain it more. Next, that it helps in the planning process. It helps in making your targets more fruitful and more helpful so that you can take proper decisions. Then it provides incentives, standards what we are setting. It provides incentives and motivation to work with a greater effort. So schemes are formulated to reward those who are achieving those higher standards. Then fixing prices and formulating policies. Standard costs actually valuable acts as a valuable help or aid to management in determining the prices and formulating policies, because these are very crucial steps to be taken to survive in the market and develop. Then facilitates delegation of authority in order that responsibility for off standard performance may be identified directly with the persons concerned. An organization chart is prepared which shows the delegated authority and establishes responsibility for of each executive. Then it facilitates coordination. While we establish the standards, the performance of different departments like production, sales, purchase is taken into account. Thus, through the working of standard cost system, coordination of various functions is achieved. Then it eliminates waste by fixing standards. Certain waste such as material waste, idle waste, lost machine hours, etc. are reduced. Then valuation of stocks. Standard costing simplifies the valuation of stock because stock is valued at standard cost. The difference between the standard and the actual is then transferred to that variance account. And it performs uniform pricing of stocks in the form of raw materials, work in progress, and finished goods. Then management by exception. Reports of variances is based on the principle of management by exception, means only variances beyond a predetermined limit may be considered by the management for taking corrective actions. It actually reduces the cost of preparing reports. It is economical and simple, generally results it's in saving the cost of the system. It basically reduces the paperwork in accounting and needs fewer number of forms and records. So thus it leads to considerable saving in clerical labor. Then it's not like that we do have advantages only, we do have certain limitations as well. The system may not be appropriate to the particular business, so might not prove to be very fruitful. The staff may not be able to may not be capable of operating the particular system, standard costing system, because it is a new technique. Then a business may not be able to keep up to date standards, because standards are the main thing that actually makes this system very effective in cost controlling. Then misleading results due to inaccurate and unreliable standards can be there. For small firms, it is a very costly affair and it might be unsuitable for the job auto industries. I'm ending it here only. There is one more topic in your syllabus that I must talk about. The topic says relevance of standard cost for variance analysis. We have already studied the concept of standard cost here, and it is like very relevant that variances needs to be analyzed. Without analyzing variances, we will not be able to know the reasons behind those variances, and if we are not able to find out those reasons, how would we take the remedial actions? So in order to correct it, in order to achieve that higher level of efficiencies, in order to control the costs at a real level, it is necessary to have variance analysis for after performing the standard costing. So it is very relevant to have it beyond that. Next class, we will in next lecture we will be talking about variance analysis, which is again an important topic. Till then, you study well. Thank you.